every D&D player has a feat. Not your character, you. Everyone has those unique quirks and abilities that separate them from the rest of the table. So what's yours? Let's find out. Characters who have the alert feat get a bonus to their initiative, meaning they're always ready when combat breaks out. Players with the feat are similar, except when they roll initiative, it's for the session. They're always the first to get there, even beating out the host who had to run an errand real quick. By the time the other players show up, their character sheet is out, notes are ready to go, and they've already warmed up their dice. But once the game starts, that's when some players really kick into gear. The Speedy feat gives characters a boost to their speed. Who could have guessed? And players who have this feat are no exception. Their pace of play is insane. When it gets to their turn in combat, they know what they're going to do, and it'll be done in under a minute. That's awesome. Though when they start trying to get through role-playing scenes as fast as possible, it does feel a bit like they're speedrunning D&D. The Chef feat allows characters to make hearty treats that give little boons to whoever eats them. If a player takes this feat, they cook food. Not all of these are clever, okay? Sometimes it's pretty on the nose. And we all love that member of our group who's either making the mid-session snack or picking it up on the way over. Same with musician. For a D&D character, they can use music to inspire the other members of the party. For a player, they're the ones who DJ every session. Maybe they have great taste. Maybe they've built lots of awesome playlists in the past. Or maybe they're the only one who pays for Spotify Premium. Who knows? But either way, they're providing the epic soundtrack to the campaign. And the occasionally mistimed pop song during really serious moments. Some people were made to play D&D. The durable feat gives characters a higher constitution, as well as advantage on death saves and a bonus action healing maneuver. Those characters are built to last, and so are players who take this feat. Their sessions can go for hours and hours. A weekend of D&D isn't just a fun time with friends, it's a marathon, and they may even finish the whole module by the time it's through. And when they finally get home, they're already planning the next 12-hour game. I love D&D, but these players are built different. Everyone approaches the game differently. Some folks are here for the combat, others like role-playing, and then there are those who love diving into the world and its story. They're the ones who take the Keen Mind feat. In-game, it boosts one of your intelligence skills and lets you investigate things on the fly. For a player, that translates to always being the party member who knows what's going on. They take great notes, reference them often, and might even do the recaps that start each session. That's how locked in they are. But just because they're keeping up doesn't mean they can predict the future. Nope, that's reserved for the Observant feat. Similar to Keen Mind, it lets characters boost either insight, investigation, or perception, and check their surroundings as a bonus action. Players with this feat are just a little too good at picking up on all the DM's hints and clues, and they always see your plot twist coming. The goblin friend they picked up in session 2 was actually the Archlich this whole time? Yeah, they guessed it. On one hand, you're glad they're paying attention, but can't they let you have one good surprise? The Magic Initiate feat lets you learn a cantrip and a level 1 spell, so even martial characters can be a little versed in the ways of spellcasting. Players with this feat have also tapped into arcane knowledge, and it's called the rules. They're the ones who know their characters inside and out, and are often helping the DM make rulings since they're so familiar with the game. Maybe they've even run a campaign in the past. Or at least thought about it. Let's go through two more obvious ones. Lucky lets your character either get advantage on a d20 roll, or give an opponent disadvantage on an attack. Players with Lucky are lucky. You know the types. Always getting crits, never failing death saves, rolling high on their damage. Don't get me wrong, you'll love having them in your party, but you really need to check if they're using loaded dice, just in case. Actor is another simple one. This feat lets you mimic others and get advantage when trying to pass yourself off as someone else. You don't need to do voices or really chew up the scenery to roleplay, but don't tell that to any player with this feat. They need this creative outlet, so be prepared for lots of dramatic monologues, pitch-perfect accents, and maybe some actual tears. They might not make it to Broadway, but your dining table is close enough. With so many feats in the game, some will end up being less useful than others, and sometimes what's good for a character might not be great for a player. Polearm Master increases the range of your opportunity attacks and lets you make another attack as a bonus action. That's not bad, but for a player, their increased range comes in the form of all their stuff. They take up a lot of room at the table. Every dice, sheet, and chip bag has to be spread out as far as possible. The ability to whip out two swords and fight with bows at the same time is a pretty common fantasy, so it's no surprise that you can take the dual Wielder feat, which expands the amount of weapons you can attack with when you're holding two. As a player, your main weapon are dice, and most people roll with one hand or the other. But if you've taken this feat, you can do both. Right, left, maybe for advantage, you roll one with each. Isn't that cool? Yeah, not really. Speaking of dueling, the defensive duelist feat allows a character to boost their AC when under attack, giving them better protection. Players with this one have mastered the art of defending their characters from harm. Their sporting plate armor and a shield will retreat the moment their HP hits single digits and never leave home without a ring of protection. These folks often choose the helicopter parent class in real life. Every party needs a leader, and sometimes they make it a bit more formal by taking the inspiring leader feat. After a rest, they can motivate their fellow heroes and give them a little temp HP. For a player, that leadership comes in the form of taking charge of your group. Somebody has to schedule the sessions, and they have a full Google Calendar with everyone's availability. And when it's time to coordinate the annual D&D retreat, they've already booked the Airbnb and have a full itinerary. The DM may be taking charge when the dice get rolling, but make no mistake, this group is theirs. Last but not least, a character with the Poisoner feat can add deadly toxins to their weapons, dealing extra damage that ignores resistance. If a player has this feat, they're probably in prison. Those are a few of the feats you might have if you love playing D&D, but I'd love to hear which ones I didn't cover that you think would have fun uses in real life in the comments. Thanks for watching, and if you like this one, check out a video I did on which class you might be based on how you play. If you enjoyed it, leaving a like is always appreciated, and you should consider subscribing to the Bard's College. I make videos all about D&D, DMing, and everything in between, so there's more to come. But for now, good luck, and remember, crit your players.